Recording in progress.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called the Barbershop.
Yo, what up? What's good, fam? Welcome to another episode. It is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Y'all can check us out live on our streaming platforms, YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitch as well, and on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Also follow us on the gram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your boy Trey Frazier, and I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What up, homie? How's it going?
Cooling, man. You see it. My eyes. It's not weed, man.
Nothing changes.
It's not weed this time. It's not weed this time, bro. It's tired, man. Tired, bro. But hey, man, we got a job to do. So
Yes,
the job
sir.
we shall do. You know what I'm saying? How you?
I'm good, man. Another week is here, bruh. The summer just blew by, bruh. It's crazy. We got 2 weeks left until the kids go back to school.
Yeah, same here.
So, kind of looking forward to that, prepping them with supplies and all this stuff, and, getting ready for that time of year, man. School starts, NFL's kicking off in a few weeks also.
Football start, yeah. About
Yes,
to say
sir.
foot. Yeah. I mean, I know we getting preseason games, but football starts.
Football, real football starts in a few weeks now. So I
Gotta get my TV. You know, I ain't been, watching a whole bunch. I ain't got my live TV. I gotta get my live TV situation back together now since we back.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, what's your opinion about the YouTube TV stuff going on? I guess you could do not Red Zone, but you could get the NFL package.
Sunday
on
ticket,
there.
yeah, Sunday ticket. You can get Sunday ticket for about close to $400, I think it is. Hey, God bless them. I'm gonna go ahead and go my route though.
I was just about to say, I've done the trial for YouTube TV, and it's cool. It's all cool.
Yeah, because it's $70 for YouTube TV.
Yeah. Then
the $300, $400, whatever it is for Sunday ticket. I was just on Xfinity and they're offering like $200 off off Sunday ticket, but you got to get the YouTube TV package. Subscription.
Yeah.
And then do some whole
a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's
which
a catch.
is I mean, not necessarily as a catch. It's just it is $200 off. I'm sure they did a deal, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go my route. I'm gonna go ahead and go my route. And if this route serves as the more beneficial route, I promise I will watch way more football than I did last year, and I may even start dedicating myself to watching some basketball before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you definitely got to do that. And we kind of briefly touched on it right before we got on. This whole play-in tournament thing, they kind of released a play-in tournament schedule, which I have absolutely no idea what the purpose of this thing is, what the incentives are, why the hell it even exists. I just want my regular, season basketball schedule. I don't care about this 4-game play-in and stuff. Like I don't understand it.
Well, be clear. They're clearly putting this into play because of the play-in at the end of the year, and because that people have turned a new leaf on that one where we wasn't so cool with it at first, and now we kind of like, all right, this is a part of we starting to accept it, and some maybe even like it at this point. So there's that. And when they see in that, they're like, all right, well, let's do another tournament. And if that catches, for whatever reason, then, then it'll be another drop in the marketing basket of the NBA.
It's weird. It's weird. I saw.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, it's how we felt about the play-in tournament to begin with. So it's
Yeah.
So
I
just wait and see.
at least I can understand the play-in tournament as far as like getting to the postseason. I could understand that, but I don't understand putting in a play-in tournament in the month of November, where the season is like fresh and new. So that part of it, I don't get. But
Yeah, but I remember us having not necessarily us, but I can remember conversations being had about, well, why does the 10th and the 9th and the 10th seed get an opportunity to get into the playoffs? I remember that, and it has worked in the favor of 9 and 10 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have actually made the playoffs because of it.
Yeah.
So play under 8 seed basketball and then just wait to the end of the season and beat a 7 or 8 seed and then you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I could see how
you saw it. You saw it this season. You saw it with the Heat as an 8 seed in the
Right.
finals, and you saw it with the Lakers as a 7 seed in the conference finals.
Yeah, so I could see where I'll wait and see. I mean, at the end of the day, I would like to think that they got it vetted out. I'll see how it works out before I start shitting on it because I don't have all the information no way. So
Yeah, I just want to know what the deal is, like what the purpose is. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So in about 20 minutes, we got a guest coming on. She goes by the name of Estell. She's from Buffalo, New York. She's a Buffalo Bills fan. She has a podcast network called Built in Buffalo. She also has got a podcast called Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. And she's going to hop on with us. We're going to talk about these Buffalo Bills in this offseason. And we got another one of these top 5 lists going on. Top 5 players in the AFC East. So that one will be interesting, especially now that we know about Dalvin Cook signing with the New York Jets. And by the way, bruh, I was trying to put that footage up of you claiming that the Jets was going to sign him. And I got the clip ready. I just hadn't, pushed send on that yet. But we'll make sure we get that out. Make sure you get the, the props for that.
I mean, it's dead. I mean, it's not gonna have the shit on it by tomorrow, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You conveniently didn't have time. It's cool. I feel you, my G.
The clip's ready, bruh. I'm saying the clip's ready. I just haven't sent it yet.
Hey man, the clip ready. Then all you got to do is hit send.
Yeah, I know, bro, but it's been crazy.
Man,
it's been
no
crazy.
Worries about it. No worries, man. No worries, man.
It's been crazy, but you like I said before, you predicted correctly. So now you got this running back room in New York with Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Dalvin Cook, and I know there's like a 4th guy out there. So now what do we think about this team now? Because I think they got to win the division now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. They should win.
As
the
far
division.
as expectations are concerned,
they should win the division 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, man, I won't get into the Buffalo Bills until our guests come on. But
Yep.
the Jets should win the division 100%. I mean, but hey, man, Dalvin Cook is. I get it, running back market.
What was the numbers? 8.7?
1 year. No, I thought it was lower than that.
I thought it was. I thought it was
Okay.
8.7. I thought it was 8.7.
Let's fact check because I feel like it was. I mean, I feel like it was significantly lower than that.
Or maybe the 1 million was like the incentives, maybe. So maybe that's why the face value of the contract could be 7 million with the 1.7 as incentives, possibly. But the numbers I saw was 8.7. So, and
yes, okay, yeah, you're right. 8.7.
It was 8.7. Okay.
But is that 1 year?
That's 1 year.
Okay.
That's 1 year, and
so clearly I misread something then because that's not what I saw, and I was getting ready to be irritated. Well, not get ready. I was already 8.7 is fine. I read something wrong.
Okay. So you thought it was 7?
Fine.
So you thought it was 7?
I thought no. I clearly misread where it said 3.8.
Oh, you thought it was 3 point. Okay.
So I clearly misread something, or somebody got some shit reporting. But.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something to be mad about. But I'm slightly upset in the sense that we kind of had the conversation about what the running back market is with the Saquon stuff, Josh Jacobs, and we had it when we had the girls on. We had the conversation that when it's a unicorn type of a running back, then those are the guys that deserve to get, the second deals. And Dalvin Cook, when he's healthy, I think falls under that category. And I know he just had shoulder surgery. I get that part of it.
And he has a history of being unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, look, I agree with you. When he's healthy, he's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it would show that he's probably going to be injured.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he got some money. I'm glad he signed with a team.
He should be, because he should have been on a team. So
yeah.
And it's good that he's on a team that can compete.
Yep.
Look, on paper,
Mm-hmm.
this team should compete with the AFC.
Yep.
So not just in his division, but in the AFC. So good for him. Good for him. I hope that he stays healthy. I hope that he has him a good 1,100 yard season, 8-9 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the Jets. No, I don't. I don't hope any. I don't wish anything for the Jets.
Because look, I think Dalvin Cook is RB1. In my book, he's RB1.
In everybody's book, he's the starting running back.
Because I'm hearing stuff and I'm like, Breece Hall's not ready yet. Like he's just coming off the injury, and I just don't think that he's going to be ready to,
Breece Hall could be at 105%. If Dalvin Cook is at 100%, he's your running back. He's your number one running back.
Sure. I'm just saying that, these guys out here tend to make decisions that we don't necessarily agree with. I'm with you. I'm starting Dalvin Cook over a 100% Breece Hall. And quite frankly, that's a great thing. Like, if you're the Jets, that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? And then Michael Carter, who will be your RB3, clearly, that's the kind of change of pace running back that you kind of need. So, this running game should be top 5. If you ask me at the end of the season, this should be a top 5 running game.
I don't know. That's a. I haven't fleshed that out because Baltimore would be there.
Tennessee would be there. Cleveland would be there. I'm trying to think. Maybe the Giants would be there.
You think Tennessee would be there with Derrick Henry and who else?
Who's the kid that backed him up? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
That spelled for him last year while he was out. But I would expect that the Titans are still going to be, a running football team, especially if Vrabel's still there.
Sure, a running team. I'm just saying you threw them out there.
Top 5 running game. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just don't know. I just don't know that there will be a top 5 running game. I'm not saying they're not. I haven't thought about it.
Okay.
It's just when you said Tennessee, it made me think. Tennessee will really. Cleveland for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore for sure. And now I got to sit here and think about who was the top rushing.
Well, I said Giants. I mentioned the Giants.
The Giants. I agree with the Giants too, but. I don't know. The Eagles will certainly be there.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the Niners too? The Niners have a chance of being top 5 too, right?
Yeah. They did. So that's where I take. Tennessee out. That's what I take. As top 5. If we got to rank top 5 off a whim, I take Tennessee out.
Okay. Which would elevate the Jets in. Maybe getting
top
there,
5,
getting in that top 5. Maybe they're 5. Maybe they're 6 or something like that. But I would expect that with this offense, and yes, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, and offensive line wise, the Jets have been having some issues, especially with they're not sure about Mekhi Becton. He's coming off the injury. He took some snaps in training camp. He took some snaps in that preseason game, and they're kind of treading lightly with him. And so now you got questions about the whole unit plus him and Aaron Rodgers, who's older, and I don't know how much more mobile he can be.
Well, look, we ain't counting him being mobile no way, and we haven't. Any mobility we've got from him is a plus. We know he know how to make the decisions. He know how to make the reads. He'll get the ball out fast. So we ain't looking at him for that. No way.
Exactly. And so I'm thinking.
Side note.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Side note. Well, get your point out, because my side note ain't that important. But
I was just gonna close with this. Now that we know that Aaron Rodgers is probably not gonna be the guy to improvise plays like he's used to, I think they lean on that running game a lot more, which I think could be a top 5 running game.
You think he won't be improvising anymore, or you mean he won't be running anymore?
He won't be running anymore.
But let's be clear, he hasn't been running for 2 or 3 years. Not the Aaron Rodgers that we know of.
Sure.
I think he'll still be. Somewhat mobile. I mean, I think he'll be good for 400 rushing yards. Something like that. Maybe that's a little too high, but he'll be good for.
That's definitely too high. You said 400.
You don't think he can get 400
rushing yards? I don't know if he's gonna get 400.
Yeah, that's a little high. Yeah, I agree. But let's say 250. Let's say 250. Let's say 250. Yeah. But in the segment of Styles is right again. Trey Lance is not starting for the 49ers.
Okay, so I agree with you. I want to add something also to this, because I know he had a not so good performance in the postseason. I mean, in the preseason game. This past weekend, and there's a lot of talking heads that are saying that this experiment is already a failed experiment. My reaction to that is that he's played 2 regular season games. He got hurt. He's rehabbing an injury. He's coming back, and we're gonna judge him off of this preseason game performance plus the 2 games that he started last year before he got hurt. To me, it's not a sample size.
By the way, no, that's not what they're judging him off of. By the way, unfortunately, Brock Purdy was so good in the system and so much cheaper for them in the future that Trey Lance's injury is going to be him not being available, and Brock Purdy being available and getting them to where he got them at is going to be the reason that he doesn't start.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you that he's not going to start. I'm just saying, for the people that are out there writing the dude's obituary, let's pump the brakes on that for a little bit here.
When you say writing his obituary, meaning what? What are you saying that I'm not saying?
Meaning the 49ers should, part ways. And I don't think that they're going to do that, given, what did they give up? 3 first rounds in that draft?
Sure.
To get him?
Sure. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
In the future, if you know you got your franchise, if you believe you got your franchise quarterback in Brock Purdy, and you gave up so much capital to get Trey Lance, when it's time to re-up, when it's time to give him a contract, isn't there incentives for him being drafted highly? Like, doesn't his contract have to be a certain minimum, because he was drafted so high?
Well, I don't know that the Niners believe that Purdy is the guy. We have I think we have a nice little sample size of what we've seen of Brock Purdy, and it's unfortunate that he got hurt, in the playoff game. But I'm not ready to see. I'm just not ready to anoint Brock Purdy yet. I'm not even ready to kick Trey Lance to the curb just yet either. I think the bottom line for me is that the 49ers have an issue at the quarterback spot. Sure.
The 49ers have an issue?
They have an issue at the quarterback spot. Now, yes, they'll start Brock Purdy. They'll start him week 1 because he clearly looks better, coming off the shoulder injury. Trey Lance, he's still got to get, his legs from under him. But I'm just not ready to anoint Brock Purdy yet as the guy that's eventually gonna be the guy for like the next 3-4 years. Like I'm just not ready to anoint him in that fashion.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, my issue is not about, again, for me, it's not about Brock Purdy versus Trey Lance on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I mean, I guess it is to an extent, but for me, again, Brock Purdy was a 6th, 7th round guy. Mm-hmm. So even if he stays right where he is in form of production, meaning he doesn't get into a Super Bowl, but they're still a winning team.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to pay him, I guess upward of $40 million a year, mm-hmm. because he was a lower draft pick. Yeah. Whereas a Trey Lance, let's say God forbid Brock Purdy gets hurt and Trey Lance, comes in and sticks and is consistent, at least consistent.
Right.
You're talking about having to pay that dude $40 million,
which is a possibility. Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. So in my mind, why not, if you're the 49ers, and I'm not saying jump the gun, do it before the season starts, but why not go see what you can get? Can you get some of them first rounders back for a Trey Lance who, top 3 pick, just hasn't had an opportunity to prove himself yet? Can he go to another team and you recoup 3 picks, 3 first rounders, or at least 2 first rounders? I think you can.
Ooh.
And I think that would be a smart.
You think Trey Lance right now is worth 3 first rounders?
Because he's young, or at least two because he's young.
Okay, I don't know about the 3 first round picks.
Right, that's what I said. 3 or at least 2.
I'll be bullish on 2, because the injury is dropped his stock some. I would say that, if you're talking about who. But
the dude is 25 years old.
Yeah, no, I get that, but he got hurt and he's already showing signs that he may not be able to run this offense, and whether that's due to the injury or just him not going through the concepts of the offense, that's dropped his stock a little bit.
Though. But now you're sending me on kind of a loop, though, Trey, because if you're saying that preseason game isn't a good enough sample size for the 49ers to get rid of him, then you can also say that game isn't a sample size enough to say his stock is lowered.
Well, you could count the games he started last year also. You could count that too. And
so his stock. So let's be clear.
Okay.
I agree that the injury has dropped his stock. I agree with that. Yeah. But it hasn't dropped his stock in such a crazy way where it's not feasible that you could get at least 2.
We agree
and maybe
there.
3. Okay.
We agree there.
So if you're the 49ers, you at least look into it to see, what's the field look like for a guy like Trey Lance, a young quarterback who's only played 2 games and got the rest of his career ahead of him. I don't think that's a crazy thing to at least think about, because I think we're clear that if Brock Purdy's healthy, he's your starting quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you're saying if he's healthy, he's your starting quarterback for the next several years. That's what you're alluding to, right?
Based on what you've seen last year. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think given, and I'm gonna go back to Garoppolo too, because Garoppolo's come in and he looks good in the offense, and he's had some injuries also. It seems like the 49ers, if they have a steady guy at quarterback that's healthy, they probably get a Super Bowl over the last 4 seasons.
Let's be clear. Let me stop you right there.
Yep.
Jimmy Garoppolo was a bad pass away from beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just talking about the health. I'm just talking about the steadiness of the position at quarterback. I'm talking about having a guy that's available, that's your starter. They've gone through Josh Johnson, Nick Mullins, I think C.J. Beathard, Jimmy Garoppolo, and now with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. And they've gone through all these quarterbacks. All that to say is that you're going into this season, Brock is your starter, and I wouldn't do anything with Trey Lance, meaning I wouldn't search for another trade.
You wouldn't even ask.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even ask. I would just roll with the flow, let's keep Trey Lance. We invested this much in him, and I get that you can look into whether you can get that stuff back or not. I don't think they'll get it completely back. They'll get some of it back.
Of course you won't.
But,
I mean, that never happens unless the player ups his stock. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think you just kind of roll with what you got in the quarterback room. I mean, again, the history of this position over the last several years with the 49ers, guys haven't been able to stay healthy. So,
here's the other part with that though, Trey, because you're right. They have had quarterback issues, but they still have been, through that time, have been a top 10 team in the NFL, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm not disputing that. Like, I'm not disputing the success of the team. Like, that's not where my point is driven home at. I'm just talking about.
Well, I'm saying that to say,
yeah,
is that much like the running back position for that offense in Shanahan, it seems like the quarterback position for that, you can get an insert quarterback, running back, and I ain't saying he can be trash and be good, but if you're a competent quarterback or a competent running back, you can be plugged into this system with that defense and be a serviceable quarterback.
Absolutely.
And a serviceable running back. And in the scheme of business, we would love to have competent serviceable quarterbacks rather than superstars because we don't have to pay them as much.
Which is why.
Go ahead. So if you're telling me that I was a bad pass away from winning the Super Bowl with serviceable quarterbacks, then I would have to say that as an organization, they're in pretty good shape for the future of being a good team. I mean, let's be clear.
But
to Pat Mahomes.
But to your point, though, you talked about a bad pass being away from the Super Bowl. It was the reason why they drafted Trey Lance. It was the reason why they gave up that much money, because they thought that they needed a guy that can do more than what Jimmy Garoppolo can do.
Maybe. Let me say, I'll say maybe, because what I also say, and how I'll answer that is that Jimmy Garoppolo ain't young no more. Like, he ain't old per se.
I was gonna say, he ain't like 38 years old.
Right, I'm gonna say, but he's certainly 33, 34. You know what I'm saying?
Is he that old?
Let's find out. Let's stat check.
I was gonna say, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's that old, but I'll say this:
he's over
30. I believe he's over 30, but I don't think he's 34, 35 years old now. But again, I just personally think
he's
that
31.
31. Okay,
he's
yeah,
31.
yeah. I don't think the reason for them drafting Trey Lance was because Garoppolo was getting old. I think the reason for them drafting Trey Lance, and especially
because they knew he wasn't a franchise quarterback.
Exactly, and Trey Lance, you would like to believe that he can do a lot more things. He can run out the pocket. He can improvise plays. He can throw the ball. Like, he can do all those things more and better than a Jimmy Garoppolo can, even at the age of 31.
In the future. Maybe. Yeah. I'll say maybe. But small sample size, so I won't throw no shade on Trey Lance. It's not enough. We haven't seen him on the field enough for me to say.
Yep.
We haven't seen him on the field enough for me to say, oh, he ain't gonna be able to do this. He ain't gonna be able to do that.
But I think you keep him if you're the 49ers for this season. I think you stick with him as the backup, and if something happens,
you definitely shop. But what if a I don't know,
somebody gets hurt? I get it. Somebody might get hurt.
No. What if I'm trying to think of a team that could use Trey Lance? But what if a team says, "Hey man, what's up with Lance? We got 2 first rounders for him," and whatever. Like, you tell him you don't pull the trigger on that.
Well, then yeah, you gotta you definitely gotta think about it, and 2. You're more likely to make the move, like, and I guess it depends on the team also.
Sure, it depends on the team. Like, I couldn't think of a team who would desperately need a quarterback or the services of Trey Lance right now. But
because it seems like what we have 4 quarterbacks go in the early round of the draft, right?
Right.
I'm trying to think like who.
But it's obviously a hypothetical situation. But
right.
I'm saying that. But if somebody said, "Hey man, I got I got this. I got this for Trey Lance. What you trying to do?
Yeah.
If I'm the 49ers, yeah.
If they went to the 49ers, then yes, you're the 49ers. You entertain that conversation, and you're as this close to maybe pulling the trigger on it as you would have been if you decided, hey, we need to reach out to somebody and try to get, 2 first-rounders for him. I agree with that. I mean,
hell, if I'm the 49ers, I look, I'm saying to Trey Lance, hey man, don't, we just seeing what's up out here. Mm-hmm. I put out something that says, hey man, what's up? Mm-hmm. What y'all doing?
And it means he's gonna start though, too, right? Because
I don't give a damn what they do with the other team.
I'm saying
okay,
from Trey Lance's psyche.
Yes,
he should know that he will start for whoever trades for him, because if you're giving up 2 firsts, you're not giving up 2 firsts to be a backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so, but maybe it's not. But maybe it's not. Maybe the job ain't guaranteed to him, and he got to fight for it. Like,
of course, he's got to fight for it.
But that's not always the case when you're that guy. When you're a top draft pick in the NFL, sometimes you go there and the job is yours. I just throw it not in a real. This is not to add a real conversation, but if the Commanders gave up 2 first-round picks to the 49ers for Trey Lance to have a battle between him and Sam Howell, if I'm the 49ers, I take that.
Okay.
I take that and let him beat out Sam Howell for the job. And again, that's just a hypothetical situation. I understand that that's not a real thing, but you know what I'm saying? Or hell,
right.
Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields, who say what you want.
That's a bad example. I'm sorry.
Tell me how. Tell me why.
I'm sorry. Justin
Tell
Fields.
me why.
Justin Fields is the guy. I don't see that being the case. I mean, Justin Fields.
Sure, these are hypotheticals. These are clearly.
He proved late last year that he can be the
when he
guy.
ran for 176 yards.
When he was
when he
balling
ran
out.
for 100.
No, I'm saying when he was balling out the last 9-10 games of the season.
I'm not saying he didn't have a good end of the season, but we still don't know for a fact that this dude can throw the ball in the NFL.
Well, we gonna find out with a DJ Moore.
Oh no! But you just said it like you knew for a fact.
No, but the trajectory is the stock is high on Justin Fields. Is my point.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
But if you were the Chicago Bears, you didn't look at his sample size, which he's had enough of a sample size,
right,
and said, I know for a fact that this dude is going to be our quarterback for the next 10 years. You didn't get that in this sample size.
I can't.
You got that he could ball.
Right.
You got that. And he can ball. Yeah. And I believe he's going to be the next quarterback for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you're the Chicago Bears and you looked at what he's done,
yep,
you're not 100% sure on that. And Trey Lance might be healthy for.
But if we're comparing Trey Lance,
it's not about comparing.
Justin
It was just
Fields.
about giving examples where I could see the 49ers giving Trey Lance away. It wasn't about
sure. And I guess my reaction to that is that I think Chicago's not it's definitely not the best example, but I don't think it's an overall example of that. You got to give me a team where they got like a huge question mark at the quarterback spot, and I'm trying to think of who that team is right now, but that would be the team that would be the one to say, hey, here's 2 first-round
Tennessee.
picks.
Okay, well, Tennessee.
That's a perfect example right there. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you paying too much to the semantics of it. The only idea I was trying to express is that there is a situation where Trey Lance, they could be offered 2 first-round picks for Trey Lance, and you got to take it serious.
Yeah, of course. Hey, rest in peace to Alex Collins.
For sure.
You hear about that, man?
Yeah, of course.
It's rough, man.
Of course, yeah.
Rough stuff.
Yeah, that's tough, man. For
29 years old.
20. I thought he was 28, but
okay. I think he was 28. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
yeah,
young,
man.
bro.
Too
young.
Yeah. Did we get any details about what happened?
I felt like I did, and I just don't remember, and I just don't want to be wrong about it.
And that's why I feel like it didn't come out, because I didn't see anything.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like
And you can, and I feel like with him being a former Raven, I feel like you would have caught that. Like, oh, this is what happened.
The Ravens did release a statement, but they didn't state, what the reason was for. They just kind of paid their condolences and everything like that. I just remember that that 2017 season. I just remember Alex Collins being our number one running back, and I just thought that, hey man, this is the dude. This was our guy moving forward. And then he had, we had some of the fumbling issues, and Gus Edwards came in, and then we kind of got the running game going again, and then he eventually went to Seattle, and did some, I thought did some, some good things with Seattle during his final tenure of his season there, but that's the one thing that I'll remember about Alex Collins is that one year where we were going through that transition period. We trying to figure out who the running back is. That was like the post Ray Rice era. That was sort of the, I guess, the quote unquote the dark seasons. I don't think quote, that was a dark time. I mean, that was a dark time. It wasn't like we was going 4-12, 13-3. We just we just.
But you was under. It was a cloud. We were a cloud over your team.
We were in playoff contention, and then we just fell short for about 2-3 seasons, in a row. And I just thought that as far as the running back position goes, I thought that was going to be our guy. So. So yeah,
motorcycle crash in Florida, by the way, is how he passed.
What?
A motorcycle crash in Florida.
Oh snap! That's wow. That's wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
For sure, rest in peace to Alex Collins, and condolences to his family and friends and everybody affected.
Yep, absolutely.
For sure.
So our guest is here. Was hoping to see if we can get her on a video tip here, but let's introduce her anyway.
Okay,
you there?
I don't know what's going on with my camera. Yes, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
You guys hear me? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear.
I don't think you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Well, she might not be having just video issues. She probably might be having some audio stuff. Hey, T, if you can hear us, if you can maybe X out and maybe try to jump back in, maybe we could get a better audio and definitely better video, if that'll work for you.
Okay. Can you hear me at all now?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can't see you.
I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't have no idea. I don't normally use this laptop. And when you send it through my what is it? The Twitter, the X, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So I tried to get it from the other.
Okay.
Other laptop.
I also emailed it to you, also, T. So
did you?
I did.
Yeah,
I did. If that helps.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully that helps out.
Yeah, X out and call it. X out, hit us and join back in.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Cool. While we do wait for her, since we paid condolences to Alex Collins, quickly, man.
It's hurt, man. This one hurt, man.
I know.
This
man.
one hurt, man.
I wanna take this time, man. Paying homage. Magoo of Timberland and Magoo passed away. I think it was the day after they had the 50th. The hip hop 50th anniversary celebration, Yankee Stadium. But yeah, I think he had like a heart attack or something like that, and
it was a heart attack.
Yeah,
it was definitely a heart attack.
Yeah, so I'll ask you,
it's hurt,
how will you remember Magoo?
How will I remember Magoo?
Yeah.
Hey man, listen here, man. Magoo. Say what you want about lyrical prowess. I know he's consistently been touted as one of the worst rappers to ever do it, and all these negative things that I don't want to focus on. Let's be clear. The Super Friends in the mid '90s to late '90s and early 2000s was it for me. Timberland, Missy, like he did the job, man. Like look, man, everybody not gonna be Nas, Jay-Z, and them, man.
Right.
Like Magoo was efficient. He did enough. He had enough little quotables. The jam when you was jamming. I don't want to hear no negativity. And I'm glad I haven't seen it or heard it, because I was ready to bomb on anybody who said anything negative about Magoo right now, because I ain't trying to hear it. Magoo, to me, was one of them. Under some of the best production known to man. Rest in peace, Magoo, man. Rest in peace, Magoo. I'm not super familiar with deep Virginia vernacular, but all I've read, as I kind of listen to all the songs back and forth, like how there was clearly a style of how Virginia rappers rap back then.
Yeah.
And he epitomized that based on my research last night. So I don't want to hear no negativity. Rest in peace to Magoo, Magoo. Everybody had nothing but great words to say about him. And I've been jamming. He in my ear right now. So rest in peace to Magoo.
Yeah. So let's. I'll get T's opinion on this too. So she's kind of set up already, and she's got a video hooked up and everything. So T Estell is here with us from the Built in Buffalo Network. The name of the podcast is called Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. As you can see, diehard Buffalo Bills fan, covers a team. All her, social media and all her platforms you can find on YouTube and all your streaming platforms. So, T, first off, welcome to the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. I'm glad you was able to get your audio and your video, working and running right now.
Thank you.
How's that
background is fire, by the way. I'm not a Bills fan at all, but I do like the background.
Thank you. I try. I'm in the attic right now, so I
could tell. I could tell
make
that's
it like
attic.
Bills related.
I could tell.
And a little note: Trey's set used to look just like that in his old house. So absolutely, we
really?
we did many episodes in the attic just like that. So.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And for clarity too, that room in my old house was not an attic. That was an actual bedroom. So it was.
This is an actual. This is a room. I got a room back there. It's like a full size.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's just it gets hotter than the attic.
Cape Cod. Cape Cod. Yep.
Yes.
So I wanted to first, before we kind of get into the Bills stuff and your background and everything, we were just kind of paying homage to the rapper Magoo, passed away a couple of days ago. Just wanted to get your thoughts on how you remember Magoo as a rapper.
Well, you know what? You guys are really shocking me right now, and I'm bad. I didn't even know he passed away until you guys start talking about it. So this is my bad.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Woo,
wow.
Yeah. But Magoo, I want to say he was that Missy Elliott, Timberlane. They were all the Rat Pack. They made music that was so different to where it was like, wait, what does this sound? It sounded different.
Yeah.
That Virginia sound. It was just different. Yeah, and they brought Aaliyah in. It was music, and it felt good for some different music at the time because everybody was coming out with the same kind of the same beat and the same style. And when they came, it was just like something totally different, and it felt good.
Yeah, for sure.
And rest in peace, Magoo.
Yeah, definitely. So Maestro T, I kind of had a nostalgic moment yesterday after finding out he passed away. I said I'm gonna start looking up Timberland Magoo tracks and stuff. And I gotta tell you, some of the stuff, we kind of forget, like the B-side stuff. So like, I remember one of my favorite songs by Timbaland Magoo, and it had Jay-Z and Twista on it, was Party People.
Party People, yeah.
Party People. That was my joint, back then. And then obviously he was on Missy's album.
Right.
And big props to Static Major too. You talk about the the basement
Static
crew.
Major.
Yep. You talk about the basement crew. Late '90s. He was those guys, and Aaliyah was a part of that as well. And I remember, I grew up in New York City, and it's '97, and I'm just a freshman in high school, and that video "Up Jumps the Boogie" came out. And I'm like, who's this guy? Who's Magoo? This guy sounded like Q-Tip. And, that was kind of my first, reaction at the moment. But then as the years went by and, Timbaland became Timbaland, with the production, he's one of my, top 3 producers all time. And so you knew that Magoo, no matter where Timbaland was, Magoo was going to be, kind of right there with him and stuff. And so they came out with the joint with Fat Man Scoop. Like, that was a joint that I remember going to a house party in 2001. And I'm just going to leave it at that. When that joint came on, it was lit. So just leave it at that.
You play that now, it's lit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
absolutely.
You play that now, it's lit.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
You might not have the moves that you used to have, but you still doing it.
See, lucky for me, I always had a 2-step, and I still do have a 2-step.
There you go.
Oh man, but rest in peace to Magoo, man.
For sure.
Huge loss there. 50 years old, by the way, too. So young.
Yes.
So young.
Wow.
So T, let's get started here. So again, welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
I want to start here.
I was nervous about the barbershop. I ain't gonna lie.
You got look. I saw the cup, so you in the right frame of mind. So
yeah,
this is the spaces. This is
you in the right frame of mind.
No doubt. T, let us know, how did you get started into podcasting? What's the idea behind your podcast, and then the Built in Buffalo network? How did that come about?
Well, I started in March 2019, and it was just something to do. I love football. I wanted to talk about my Bills, but actually I was talking about the Bills also while drinking craft beer, and because I love craft beer, I love going to breweries, and I started doing that. I had like 3 beers I would review and talk about the Bills in between the reviewing the beers, and then I also put music on the back end of my podcast, like some of the latest music. Cause I would do like 2 new music and then 1 old school music, and I did it that way for the longest time. I was by myself, and then I was like, I want to interact with someone as well and see how their feelings are with the Bills, and talk beer if they drink beer. If not, then we don't have to. So that's when I added Mike on to the podcast. And before, it was not just a podcast. It was not in the 716.
Yep.
I didn't even look to see if anybody had it first, and I just named it. And I was like, let me do something else. And me and Mike talked about it, and I was like, why not just say in the 716? Because at the time we both lived in Buffalo.
Yep.
So added that, added Mike, and a friend of mine, Jay Spence, was like, yo, why don't you get on the network? And I was so against networks. And I'm good where I'm at. If people find me, they find me. If they don't, they don't. I'm good. Jay was like, get on a network, you'll get traction. And I'm like, I don't really want to be on a network. He was like, come on, sis, get on a network. So I was like, all right. So he was like, I got these guys, you'll fit right in. So talked to Dave and Akeem, and they was like, yo, you're going to be the first woman on the podcast. You got to represent. And I'm like, oh my God, come on, y'all, hold on. I don't know yet. So did my first episode, they were like, yo, you got something here. And ever since, it's just, it's history, I guess. I don't know. I'm just doing me.
I can dig it.
And that's how it started. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what up. So you always
So
been a Bills fan?
no.
I love the
So
honesty. Let me say I love the
Uh-oh.
honesty because everybody and I don't do it all the time, but everybody I ask that, they lie. They lie. They know they weren't
I'm
that
not
fan
gonna
of that.
lie.
I appreciate it.
So
I'm
when
not
did you
gonna lie.
start rooting for the Bills then?
I don't. Um. After, well, okay. I lived in Niagara Falls first. Moved to Buffalo. My father was a Redskins fan. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching football with him. Yeah,
Mm.
watching. Apologize to people. Back then, it was called what it was called.
That's
Um,
that's what's up.
Watching football with him, and he was like, "I know I am a Redskins fan. I'm also a Bills fan as well." He said, "If you're gonna be a fan, watch your team." So I sat down and watched the Bills, and I was like, "Okay." Not a fan of Jim Kelly's. Sorry, Bills fan
Mm-hmm.
again. Just
Mm-hmm.
not a fan. Cornelius Bennett was my guy.
Okay.
So I watched them, and then I continued to watch them because it was on Sunday. So I was like, all right. And, Washington wasn't on as much because they're not,
Yep.
local.
Yep.
So I continued to watch and fell in love. And I've been ever since.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's
But I
up.
still watch Washington. I still, DL still watch Washington. I love
Mm-hmm.
what's going on over there. I love Eric Bieniemy. I love all of that, what they're doing. So
Right.
I
Right.
still get my eye on them, but I'm a Bills
Mm-hmm.
fan for sure.
Yeah, I
That's what's
wonder
up.
if so your dad, you said your dad rooted for the Redskins, so I'm just wondering if he
Yes.
fell in love with I guess it's the early '80s, late '80s
Hmm.
The
teams,
Hogs. The
the
Hogs. Yeah.
Hogs.
Yeah,
Yep,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Hawks.
The Hogs.
Look,
Yeah.
Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
yep,
I
yep.
fell in love with all that. So,
Right.
it was, yeah, definitely.
For
That's what's
sure.
up.
For sure.
That's what's up.
Look. I ain't gonna hold you because I think you got a lot to say about the Buffalo Bills, but and,
Man.
I'm gonna just throw the question to you like the only way I know how to throw it to you because it's honest and is what I think. Do you
Whoa.
feel like and this can get into your whole this I promise you this can get into your whole overview of how you feel about the Bills. Do you feel like the Buffalo Bills missed their Super Bowl window?
Ooh. Oh man, that's tough because I always think that if you have Josh, you have a chance.
Mm.
Um, no, because of that. But I
Mm.
can see how that 13 seconds, oh God, that 13
Mm-hmm.
seconds was something
Yeah.
because that was right. It was right there. Man, you're taking me back to 13 seconds.
Yep.
It was just right there. I don't think our window is closed. I think everyone in this division got much better
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
where now we are not chasing the division. We are chasing Kansas City. We are chasing the Bengals. We're
Bengals.
chasing
Mm-hmm.
those teams.
Yep.
Well, everyone is chasing us now, and people think that we regress. I mean, there was a lot of teams did splash plays. The Jets is going out their mind right now.
Yep. Yep.
New England has done some things. Miami has done some things, and we are just like, okay, but we have improved a lot as well. But it's not big splash players. I mean, we went and got in the draft. We went and got
Dalton
oh my God, the
Kincaid.
tight end,
Dalton
Dalton
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Kincaid. And we've been wanting to run 12 personnel for a long time. We went and got OJ Howard. Did not work. We were like, I wanted OJ 2 years ago before he got injured because I thought he was a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came to the Bills and he was just stiff and he couldn't do anything. So they had to let him go. And I'm glad they let him go. And once we let go of Beasley, we didn't have that weapon in the middle. We didn't have that slot to take to give Josh that security blanket to where he can drop those passes down in between the middle of the field. He didn't have that. It was boom or bust sometimes when Josh played.
Yeah.
O-line, they made it a point to go get somebody on the O-line. We got Osiris Torrance, who
Yeah.
in his first preseason, he did well. I don't know if he's going to start, but I think he's capable of starting. So I mean, they made some moves to help Josh out, to help the O line, to help get weapons. They got oh my God, they got the guy from the Saints. Hardy. They got Hardy. They went and got Shorter as well in a draft. And the guy that I liked, they went and got from Miami was Sherfield. He could play inside and out. Yeah, and he's a big blocker. So I mean, they've done some moves on this offense to where I get people are like, Buffalo Bills who? Because the Jets got Aaron Rodgers. They got Cook. They got their defense was what it was last year.
Yeah,
I've already said,
and that's where I gotta stop you at, T.
The Jets.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, T. That's where I gotta stop you at because
no, you're good.
Dalvin Cook was out there for a long time, and we know the weakness of the Buffalo Bills in my book, and maybe in many other people's books. The running back position in Buffalo. I like Devin Singletary, but I just don't think that he gonna be the dude that you gonna feed the ball, 20,
Ain't he gone
25 times a game. Devin Singletary's
gone. Yeah, he's gone. They got James. They running with James Cook
in Houston.
now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He did go to Houston.
We got James Cook and we got Harris from New England.
Oh,
we got Delvin Harris from
Harris. I remember Harris.
Yeah.
I remember Harris.
Yeah, our running back room has always been the one. Okay.
I'm just
trying
wondering.
To be nice, but I understand.
I'm just wondering why did the Bills ever, or did anybody in the city kind of talk about, hey, Dalvin Cook is out there, like, hey, Buffalo, why don't y'all take a look at this guy? Like, we could use some help there.
Well, the thing about it is, they're not going to pay. Like the Bills, Brandon Beane is. I'm not going to say he won't pay. He just is real conservative when it comes to certain things.
That's
and
a
if
good
he feels
word.
that is running, and if he feels that run back room is to where he needs to be, because look, his brother is explosive and he can run between the tackles. I think Cook would be fine. James Cook is fine. I think he's fine. I think our running back room is the best that Josh has had when they got Josh. So
interesting.
I think we'll be fine in that running back room. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll speak to the second.
And even though we had Shady came in.
I was going to say, but I was going to let you have it.
So
I was going to let you
my
have
bad.
it. I was gonna let
my bad. I forgot about Shady.
Okay, well let's speak to the second weakness I believe of the team. Do you believe that Gabe Davis is a true, and I just mean true? I get he's had games where he went off and he had those games.
And he got his bag.
Is he a real number 2?
Oh man, people are going to hate me. What? Listen, the last time I went on a pod, I don't know if I got the name of the pod, your guys. And I said Josh Allen was number 4, top 4 quarterback in the league. I got some pushback. Instantly got a DM. What are you talking about? I'm like, if top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, look, come on. Oh, top 10, you'll be fine. Is he a number 2? I think he is. I think he is because Gabe has had injuries, and he spoke about it. He spoke about the fact that listening to people on the outside, yes, he's had drops, but I think he's a number 2 because we've seen what he can do in that Kansas City game, and I think the pressure was on Gabe when I don't think he was ready for it.
Okay.
Because he came out and shocked everyone. And now everybody know this guy can play. Now I'm going to put my best on you because let's be real. They had Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders was 2.
Yeah.
And Gabe was 3.
Yeah.
So now Gabe had to step into that second wide receiver. And I don't know if he was ready. And he may be ready this year. He's going to have to be ready this year. He went on a podcast and said, Diggs said he can be number 1 if he wasn't there. I mean, you're talking to your boy, and I get it. You got to hype your man up. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But Gabe is two. He definitely is a two. He's a two.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, what y'all also missed out on DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins was out here for a while, and there had been a whole lot
Yeah.
of conversation. And I even went and I mean, because now when you talk about Diggs, Hopkins, and then having to worry about Cook being guarded by third cornerbacks,
I know.
you're having a different conversation about your
But
team.
also too, D Hop, these guys talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want. I want to play with this
Yeah.
quarterback, that quarterback.
Yep.
But then you wanted your bread. The
Right.
Bills was not going to pay D Hop.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
after Odell got his money, D Hop wanted money.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so it was not the Bills was not paying D Hop that money. So I mean, once we
agree.
found out, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's good.
I can't
We're gonna
blame him.
run what we got.
I can't blame him for
Yeah.
wanting the money. I mean,
For sure.
would I like to see him get,
Sorry, go
a
ahead.
chance at a ring? Sure, but he wanted the money, and he's in Tennessee doing it. So,
And he damn sure ain't getting the ring
Yeah.
there.
nope.
With Tannehill? No, I don't think so.
Nah.
Nope. So everything all good with Stephon Diggs? I know there was some talks about the Bills and Stephon and him not being happy about certain things with the contract and how to the direction of the team. Like all's good there now.
Yeah. All that was blown up. I mean, it was it wasn't blown up. You seen what he said towards when he made his Super Bowl run, with talking to all the media guys. And he was frustrated. He's a competitor. I mean, they went 13 seconds and then got beat at the Bengals. You didn't even show up. You know what I mean? As a fan, I was frustrated. You a player and you're frustrated. If I'm frustrated, I know you put in that work. You're frustrated. Like, what do we need to do to get over this hump? What happened? And it's the first year. I don't know if it's Ken Dorsey first year play calling or whatever the case may be. Hopefully everything is great now with Ken Dorsey and play calling. I'll just say that.
Fingers crossed, because I'm going to add a third weakness.
Oh God. What is going on?
You firing shots today, man.
I've been doing my research. I've been taking it. I've been doing
all
a
good.
research.
I'm here for it.
Pass rush. Von Miller was obviously injured last year, but even if he's healthy, I don't know who your second guy is. And I believe that you got to have a second guy that's going to get you 7 to 8.
Well, we got Rousseau. Rousseau's going into his third year, and I think Rousseau is going to step up. AJ Epinesa had 6.5 sacks just last year, and a quiet 6.5, because I was like, he had 6.5. Didn't even know. You're right though. I mean, they added Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
So even if Vaughn doesn't start, we got Leonard Floyd, the opposite of Rousseau. And Leonard Floyd had 9.5 sacks last year. So, we'll be fine. I'm not worried about our D-line at all, because our rotation is insane. John McDermott is going to rotate these guys. He is. And everybody wanted Ed to go, kind of including me. But Ed has to play with I won't say he has to play with someone beside him, but it takes the pressure off of Ed if there's someone on the side of him. And when we got Poona Ford, I love that they picked up Poona. I think Poona Ford is going to be our secret weapon. I do. I like Poona Ford.
Yeah, I forgot about the Leonard Floyd acquisition. That was a good pickup for you guys.
Yeah.
So I guess to kind of get to
we got pickups, but they weren't big.
Yeah, they were quiet. Yeah, they were quiet.
Yeah. Right. So I got a question about this division too. AFC East. Where do you guys rank now? I mean, we talked about the moves. Miami, made some moves to get Jalen Ramsey, and I get he's hurt, and he's probably going to be sidelined for at least a month or maybe a little bit after that. the Patriots, and Maestro, we forgot to mention Zeke going to the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Um,
I'll tell you why I forgot, because it wasn't on my radar. I saw that it happened, but what do we really believe Ezekiel Elliott is going to do?
They need wide receivers.
Yeah.
Is he gonna line up on the side at the line? Because they need wide receivers.
Hey, is it crazy to say Zeke's the best player on that offense right now?
Yes.
You said it's crazy to say that?
Yes, that's crazy to say.
Oh, who you think the best player on the offense is?
I don't think he's better than Juju Smith-Schuster right now.
Oh, that's right. He is over there.
Oh, Juju is there.
I think he's better than
Juju.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's better than Juju Smith-Schuster right now. And it's funny because I did look at, the Bleacher Report always showed a little weapon thing on IG, and I forget who the other tight end was, but they got two good tight ends on that team.
Hunter Henry, right? Hunter Henry,
but it's another guy.
Mike Gesicki. But Mike Gesicki just got injured.
He did?
He just got injured. Yeah, I just seen that. Maybe I just seen he just got injured. Okay. But yeah, they got Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, Gesicki, and I would take Gesicki over Zeke right now, as far as right now.
Yeah.
Why
did you pick? Why did they get another running back though?
Yeah, because
they got.
Who's the guy?
They got Stevenson, right?
Yeah, Stevenson.
Right,
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
I couldn't remember his first name, but yeah, Stevenson. They got.
That's because it's a hard
it's a hard first name to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. But they got Stevenson. Hell, I mean, Brandon Bolden might still be on that team, getting a few carries. But That wasn't on my radar, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't see Zeke.
Their defense is gonna keep them in the game.
Exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
I don't see Zeke.
Yeah.
But with that, they got to run the ball too. So
Zeke.
And Zeke.
I mean, because
gonna be a part. Zeke got to be somewhat of a huge part of that. I know Stevenson. I know Stevenson's gonna get the bulk of the snaps, but I think Zeke's got to be at least right behind him when it comes to that, right?
I hope you're not dependent on Zeke.
Exactly, because what's a successful season for him? I mean, he ain't running for 800 yards. I don't see it happening.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Definitely going to be interesting.
They got to run the ball.
AFC East is going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, so we can get right back to where your question was. Where do you rank the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East? It won't, and I'll give you this: it won't be fourth. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, because we all know who fourth is. So.
Right. I'm still with the Bills number one until you and everybody is great on paper.
Yeah.
The Jets look awesome on paper. They do. We looked awesome a few years back on paper.
Right.
But until you do it, until you get those pieces together, Aaron Rodgers is coming into a team that he doesn't know. And I get it. He brung Hackett with him. I understand it. I get it.
He didn't just bring Hackett with him. He brought Cobb with him. He brought Lazard with him.
Yeah, he brought a lot of people. And then I just heard he's trying to bring an O-line guy with him too. Just recently, I just seen on Twitter. So I mean, because their O-line is shaky. That's why.
Right.
But I still got Buffalo. Yeah, I still got Buffalo as number one until you beat number one. You're not number one.
I respect that.
I got the Jets, I got Miami, and I got and I hate to say that because I think the Patriots are going to shock some people with the wins that they get. Hopefully not against us, but I think that that defense will win them some games that like, oh, okay, they were in it to the last second. So
yeah, they kind of was like that last year though. Like I think that entire maybe besides Buffalo, but that entire division for the most part was competitive. I mean, everybody was probably about 500 or better for a certain part of the season, and then right after the second half was when everything just kind of fall out of place for everyone except Buffalo. You had two.
But then you also too though. You also have New England now have a new play caller.
Yep.
I mean, they have oh my God, why is his name?
That might be the biggest off-season acquisition for the Patriots is getting the damn play
for the
caller.
Patriots.
Yeah.
because it was a
They-
hot mess.
They went and got Slim
last
back.
year.
They went and got that bum ass dude they had.
Bill O'Brien.
There you go,
Bill
Bill
O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, thank you.
Yep.
Who might be in line for the new head coach in a few more years. But, you know,
Exactly.
Mhm.
It's disgusting behavior that be going on in this NFL. Why does Bill O'Brien deserve another job? Why?
And you know what's
Yeah,
crazy?
it's-
And you know what's crazy about that too? Because when DeAndre Hopkins was still out on the street, people was talking about, hey, yo, what about the Patriots? They need some receivers. And I was like, I don't know, because Bill O'Brien over there, and last time we seen Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins, you know, face to face, it wasn't a good
You talking
look.
about Slim Baby
wasn't
Mother?
great.
Yeah, right. So I don't know if that was gonna work.
Yeah, I don't see that that's gonna work at all.
No,
I don't see that that's gonna work at all.
No.
So I'm looking at your schedule.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Jets opening
5.
night.
Jets opening
Yes.
night. Raiders, Commanders, Dolphins, Jaguars. I see it.
I see 3 and 2. I see 3 and 2.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so what 2 games do you think we're going to lose?
I think you losing to the Dolphins in October, and I think you losing to the Jaguars the next week.
Wow, 2 in a row. Okay.
2 in a row.
So they start 3 and 0.
You'll start 3 and 0. I think you'll get the Jets week 1. I think you'll definitely get the Jets week 1. But I think the Raiders are the Raiders, and the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders. Look, I think
the Commanders' defense is good.
I was gonna say.
I think the Commanders are going to be a good team. I think they'd be a better team if they weren't in the NFC East. Y'all might, but I don't see y'all losing that. I just don't see.
I'm
a
swap wins and losses with you. I think the Commanders upset them. I think they beat Miami.
It's at home. I believe it's at home.
It's at home. We're here. No, the Commanders is at their place.
At their place. I'm sorry. I said home because I'm in that area. So,
yes.
But,
right. I got you.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Commanders pull the upset off. I think the Bills beat Miami.
Interesting. Okay.
I like that. And I said we're gonna lose, and Mike was like, "Are you crazy?" Out the Jags, because it's about the Jags. It's something about the Jags, and the fact that we're going away.
Yeah.
Too. So I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that we're going away and we're playing a team
in September where the heat's
been there
be,
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, where the heat's gonna be like 90 degrees or better, like it was
and
when y'all went to Miami.
And they always send the Jaguars to London for some reason.
Yes.
Every freaking year
Yeah. They might as well just be a London team.
They're always in London.
From now on.
Yeah. So 3 and 2. Yeah. But given that, I mean, 3 and 2, that's way early to make any type of, where they are in this grand scheme of the AFC. But where do you see them? Clearly you got them winning the division. You said that. But in the scheme of the AFC, where do you have them between 1 and 4?
Oh my God.
So now you're talking about like 1 through
Seeding
4
the
division winners,
overall.
right? Division winners.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness, because we got Kansas City, we got the Bengals, we got the Ravens, right?
Don't be scared to throw Pittsburgh in there. Don't be, if you want to throw the.
Oh, I forgot about Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. If you just want to throw them in there, no problem.
Man, that's tough. I would say maybe 3.
Because the South is trash.
Yeah, I said.
Well,
Jacksonville.
as a
division.
Okay, got you.
The only team you're concerned about in the South is Jacksonville.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because the Bengals are the Bengals, man. The Bengals are a tough out.
Yeah.
They're getting it together. That freaking offense is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Got them damn 2 wide receivers. Like, man.
Yeah. With the Bengals,
you don't even need a running back.
With the Bengals, me, the question for the Bengals for me is how they replacing those 2 safeties that they lost.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they
Exactly.
did lose
Exactly.
those two safeties.
So
Yeah.
so while they'll score points, points will be scored on them.
Yes.
I
Yes.
fully,
Yes.
I 100% see it happening. If you know, and I'm speaking AFC North talk as I'm a Steelers fan and Trey is a Ravens fan. Hey man, pass rush. We just a sack away from Joe Burrow having a bad game when it matters. Because TJ Watt does it
Not
every
even that.
time they play.
The Ravens was oh my, a touchdown away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were tied.
I mean,
yeah,
I
we were
watched
tied
that
with the
game and
Bengals.
I was
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, I watched that game was sick. I said that man ran that
You
ball
were
all the way
sick.
back. Jesus.
You was if
I
you were
know.
sick, I was worse.
I laughed so hard. I laughed the hardest laugh I could ever laugh. And I was crying. My kids ran into the living room trying to figure out what was going on. It was the most warm feeling of, you know, how
Oh my
laughter-
God.
that was I guess his consolation prize for being home for the playoffs.
That's a fact. It
Oh,
was.
okay.
It 100% was. That's what it was. But hey, man, they say laughter is the
They
medicine
called
for the
it
soul.
called the quarterback sneak at the 2.5 yard line.
Yeah.
What the
And
hell?
J.K. Dobbins ain't.
What the
and
hell?
J.K. Dobbins been mad ever since.
Yep, and
I
still
bet.
is mad. Still
Yeah.
is mad. I know we
Oh,
reported
he
back
did a
to camp.
Marshawn Lynch, huh? Did the
Mhm.
Marshawn Lynch on it?
Yep, sure
Mhm.
did.
Yep.
Sure did.
They said Huntley win the game for us. I was like, give me a break.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, coach.
Good job.
Jeez.
Wow stuff, man. But yeah, so
Yeah.
kind of getting back to the division. So here's the fun part too. So just to give you kind of a overview every time we have these top 5 topics. So after every show, we get a DM, a phone call, or email saying,
Address
"Hey,
that my 9 to 5.
or coworkers in his case. Hey, who the hell you got on the show with their top 5? Like, they don't know what they talking about. They don't know football. They don't know basketball. All this stuff. So, I got 2 questions for you. I want you to first let the folks know where they can find you at on social media, be it Twitter, IG, whatever. And then the second question is going to be your top 5 players in the AFC East this season.
And let me tell you
I'm
why.
a-
We want all smoke directed to your social media handle.
Oh wow, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me at noplace.no. Well, you can find me Oh no, I'm on Twitter. See Estell, Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. All my social medias are the same. On YouTube is Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. On Building Buffalo, you can find me over there as well. You can just type in Building Buffalo. I am over there. I got all the smoke. It's all good. It's all love. Listen, I know much as football as the next person. I'm not saying I'm all knowing, but I do know football. So my top 5 in no particular order at all.
No
and I
particular
try
order.
to put everybody in my division. But I'm gonna have a +1. So I got Quentin Williams for the Jets.
Okay.
I got Diggs for Buffalo. I got Hill from Miami. I got Josh Allen, of course, from Buffalo. I got Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. And if I could add one, I'll do Matt Judon for New England.
I like that pick.
Okay.
So those are my top.
Okay.
So if they want to bring me the smoke, I mean, I don't even know who else I can add on
I'm
there.
sitting here. That's what I was immediately thinking about. Who can I argue with you about?
Yeah. There's not really an argument. Like the Judon one was like kind of like the honorable mention for me too.
Yeah.
Like he's to me he's the guy that you gotta game plan for if you're facing that defense. Yeah.
Some would say
because
some would say so. Some would put, I don't know why, but
Sauce.
Some would put Sauce Gardner. I know it's only 1 year, but he's been one of those cornerbacks this year. The real question, and I'm just trying to start some shit. Von Miller is your best pass rusher, but not in your top 5.
No. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
I, I agree
No.
with that. I
I'm
agree.
just
He
trying to
should-
start some. I was just seeing if I could.
Yeah.
He
I
shouldn't
mean,
be there. He shouldn't be there.
he's number 3 on the team right now. Like, to be quite honest,
I might put
Vaughn wasn't with
Tre'Davious White
us.
over Von Miller.
I was just listen.
Yeah.
Vaughn wasn't with us after Thanksgiving. Trey came back on things, and I'm so happy we're not playing on Thanksgiving. Thank you. Trey came back on Thanksgiving, and Trey wasn't the same the first 3 games, maybe.
That was the Lions game. That was the Lions game.
Lions.
Right?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. But once Trey got his feet up underneath him, Trey was maybe number 3 on this team. And I will say Trey is 3 now. Trey is in camp right now is the old Trey White. And I can't wait. He's bouncing around. He's joking. Trey wasn't doing any of that last year. He was focused on his rehab, focused on trying to get better. Now Trey is out here trying to teach Elam because they play zone. They will play press man sometimes, but it's more zone. Trying to teach Elam what to do because Elam is good for holding. So he's just trying to teach him how to, play that zone better and hold those on those wide receivers. So Trey, he would have got there, but if it was like, top 10, maybe top 6, whatever. But yeah.
Jeez. Okay. All right. I tried. I did try.
Yeah.
You tried to start some shit. Look.
I did. I definitely tried to start some shit. I definitely tried. I got one more question that I didn't think about until just now. DeMar Hamlin, how has that been going?
DeMar is great. Like, he spoke about the fact that taking those steps and not being afraid and not being hesitant to go out and play. He said he was a little afraid going out there, but he understood that there's something that he had to do. He had to get over that hump to go play. They put another pad on his chest to protect his chest. So, I mean, he's doing it. He on the preseason, he was out there. He tackled several times and hopped up, and everything was fine. So he's doing well. He's definitely doing well.
The pad on his chest, is that like precautionary? Is they're not concerned about anything? Is what I guess.
No. It's just precautionary. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see the homie back out there, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's crazy because when you think about it, you're just like, this dude died, and now he's playing.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? It's crazy, but
yeah, I mean, look, man, it's hard. I mean, when you're really faced with, because, and I remember Ryan Clark alluding to it when it was going down. We talk a lot of shit about what we would die for. We talk a lot of shit about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's put in his face, and now he's directly dealing with right now. Like, can't nobody call him fake. Like, you are putting your literally more than maybe anybody else on that in the NFL right now, putting your life on the line right now because of what happened on that day. So I mean, definitely props to him standing on his square. I mean, but like, he's been doing it. Most football players, or really all of them, been doing it since they was a youngin.
Yeah.
So to stand on, like, all right, this is who I am and this is what I do, even though it almost took me out, I'm going to go back and go do what I do, man. So definitely.
And I have to give it to Ryan Clark, because when he said that, it's like he put things in perspective. He's like, not many people would say they would die. Like, guys would say, I'll die for this. But he said he actually died on the field. And I was just like, man. I mean, he did he did so well that night, because I know as a fan watching my team, I was just all over it. I was just like, what is going on? Because, and then as fans in general, you're just like, oh my God, this dude is like, did they just say he died? Like, it was just a roller coaster. Like, they cannot play this game. They cannot. And I knew they weren't going to play the game, because the faces on the players was just devastated. Like, they seen a ghost. Trey White. I looked at Trey White, and his face was just blank. And it was just like, okay, this is serious.
Yeah.
So, but I'm so happy he is well and doing well.
Yeah, I tell you, T, you talk about the players being, shook and everything. I mean, from the perspective of someone watching the game itself, like we came on here the next day and was wondering if we were even gonna make it through, through the podcast. Like it just kind of felt like
Mm-hmm.
it felt different. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm watching the first half or the game, and to just not be able to watch the game because he was on the field
Right.
without no movement was just crazy. And not to compare the situation or this player to DeMar Hamlin's situation, but on that same field earlier in the season, we had
Mm-hmm.
Tua
Yeah.
get knocked out with a second concussion, and we're wondering if he's ever gonna play football again. Now, obviously, we
Right.
talked about players saying they die for the sport. Well, I gotta respect Tua in the sense that one hit and this could be it for Tua,
Yeah.
but he's coming back,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I just wish these guys well,
Yeah.
man.
For sure, because
Me too.
one thing is for certain: both of these players are going to hit or get hit.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Tua's going to get hit
yeah,
this season, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time when Tua plays with against the Buffalo Bills, as a fan, I'm always, oh my god, oh my god. I'm
yeah.
because it's just second nature now because I seen it with him, and yet they can say whatever they want to say with that, whatever.
mm-hmm.
I seen it with with a Bengal, and it was just, oh, please don't show that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
glad they didn't continue to show it because it was just horrific. It was just horrific, And his parents was in. It was like DeMar. DeMar's parents were there. His little brother was there.
Yeah.
Tua, his parents was there. So
Right.
it's a constant. You see that. My son, a person that I love. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and the psyche of a guy like T. Higgins, who was in the play with him,
Right.
at the time he went down, somebody had to check on him too because he felt like
Absolutely.
if he hadn't done anything like during that play, like this wouldn't have happened to him. So from
Yeah.
a mental
DeMar
standpoint,
Hamlin's actually parents checked on him to make sure he was
Yeah.
fine
I heard
and said
about
it
that.
wasn't your fault and all that. So it was definitely, great for them to do that.
Yeah,
That's what's
for
up.
sure.
That's what's up. I got one last question. And so you are you from the city of Buffalo originally, or?
I am. I live in Buffalo.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I guess my question is, what's the environment in the city of Buffalo? They've had a couple of major tragic events. You had the mass shooting at the supermarket last year, I think it was, and now the community is
Yep.
rallying around that to make the city a better, safer place. Let us know what's going on with that and all the efforts and stuff.
So, I want to stay positive because I think when tragedy the city of Buffalo have been through a lot last year. We had the top shootings. We had the storm that took 40 something people maybe.
Oh, that's right. That's
if
right.
I'm misquoted.
Because that's why they moved the game.
I apologize for
That's
that.
right. That's right.
Yes. We had a fire that killed a grandmother and her kids. Like a lot was going on last year. And we all came together. And it's just, I'm not comparing, what happened in New York City, but everybody came together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened in Buffalo. It happened in Buffalo for a minute, and I mean, it's continuing to happen in pockets, but we tend to forget, we tend to, oh, okay, we're good. So, and oh yeah, remember that, let's come together. We got to come together. It's nothing is going to change unless you continue to say and see what happened. Nothing like that should happen in Buffalo. Like I live right next to a Tops.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and sister were calling me left and right, and I'm in the backyard cleaning out my pool with my kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look at my phone, I got like 20 something missed calls and text messages. Where are you? And I'm like, what's going on? Have you checked the news? And I'm like, no. And I seen that, I was just like, oh snap.
Yeah.
She was like, is that a Tops where you're at? I'm like, no, it's not. It was on, on the east side, whatever. But That alone is like, it's Sunday. I go to Tops all the time just to pick up something on Sunday to barbecue or whatever. And that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And we got to continue. I mean, when you go to the East Side now, it's different. It's different. Everybody still they know each other. But when somebody else comes in, it's like, oh, you only going to be here for a minute. You still got to check on people. And I think that is gone away. Still got to check on people.
Yeah.
You should not have one supermarket in that area. It should not be that way. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So not to, serious this out, but.
Nah, it's the perspective.
If it gets serious, blame Trey for asking the damn question.
It's just conversation.
I know. I'm just kidding. Don't be that.
But
hey, look, we appreciate you, T, for coming on, rapping with us, man. Before we let you go,
guys.
Just go ahead and plug whatever you want to plug, so the people know where to find you and what you got going on.
Yes, thank you. I have another podcast. It's called Tea Time with Robin. We also talk about football. We don't talk too much inside about the Bills, but we just give you our overall opinions about it. But I'm also have a Not Your Average podcast in the 716 on the Building Buffalo, where we get in and talk about not the X's and O's, but we get in a little dirt. We give you a little dirt, and we have segments. But it's just two of us just talking football, and we love to do that and drinking some beer or some brandy sometimes.
All right. That's what's up.
Yes.
On Thursdays. I'm sorry, and that's on Thursdays.
Okay, got you.
Right.
Thursdays. So, hey, yeah. So make sure that everybody watching, listening, make sure you tap in on Thursdays for T's podcast. And T, hey, look, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming on, rapping with us, man. We will see you on these internet streets. So you're gonna find a follow from me before the night's over.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and
for
I'll follow back for sure.
Yes. And like I said,
we play. Do we play? We play you next week.
We play us. Yep, I did see.
Yeah, the
preseason.
Steelers. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Well, you know what? Y'all whooped our ass last year.
I wasn't bringing it up.
Yeah,
I wasn't bringing it up.
I wasn't either, but it's a good time as we about to get you off the show. You just go ahead and slide it in that I knew that's what happened.
And you got that end button?
Yeah, right. We were a different team. But with that being said, I am certainly looking forward to seeing the starters against the starters. Now I don't know who y'all are playing, but I know we are definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We definitely plan to go 4 horses at least a series or 2. So I am looking forward to a quick like what we did with Tampa Bay last week. I'm looking for a quick score, get them off the field.
Yes.
And so.
I have a question. For you as a Steelers fan.
Shoot.
So what's going on with is it Watts?
TJ?
Yeah. Did he get bulky or something like that?
I mean, hey, look, you know what? You about to open up a can of worms.
Wait, what happened?
Okay.
No, it's fair. It's fine. Because you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people putting Myles Garrett over TJ Watt. And I think TJ Watt is tired of people putting Myles Garrett over him.
Oh, come on.
I think, look, hey, you kiss my ass, Trey.
Hey, look, you know where I stood. You know where I stood with my top 5. Watt was in there for me.
Right.
You know why I stand with it.
And he's not, and Myles Garrett, freak, beast, no question. He is not better than TJ Watt, period. And I think he's tired of hearing that. So I think, so if you've noticed it, and I have, and he's talked about it, it's because he's sick of the shit. He ain't say that, but he's sick of the shit. So he's coming for it. He's coming for his spot as the best pass rusher in the AFC North. Because it should have never been a question since he's been in the league.
I don't want to say this as a Ravens fan, but watch the games that the Steelers play without him versus with him, and then look at the records. Look at the records of when he's in there versus when he's out, and you'll see the impact that T.J. Watt has on that defense and on that team for that matter.
Yeah, we win at least 2 more games.
T.J. Watt had the impact. Yeah, T.J. Watt had the impact when he came to Buffalo I was like, is anybody blocking this guy? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, yeah. Because we stole that game 2 years ago. We stole that game 2 years ago.
The opener, right?
Yes.
The opener, yeah. We stole that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Jesus.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Myles Garrett has that same. Well, I know Myles Garrett doesn't have that same impact.
I do know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I know for a fact that Myles Garrett doesn't have that same impact with the Browns.
And I don't care how wrong Mason Rudolph was. You ain't have to do him like that. But Mason Rudolph was wrong. But he was wrong. Mason Rudolph was wrong. And I totally believe that he called him the N-word.
I believe it too.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But look, on some real T, we appreciate you, Sean. And we really appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys for allowing me to come on.
Be safe.
No doubt. No doubt. Thanks a lot, T. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. That was T. Estell right there, Built in Buffalo Network. Also, you can find her. She's got 2 podcasts. Not Your Average Podcast in the 716, and then Tea Time with Robin was the other podcast.
Yep.
So make sure y'all check those out. YouTube and all your other streaming platforms and all that good stuff. So, hey, can we talk about this Michael Oher stuff, man?
Oh, man, I forgot. I just knew for a second that I was going to make it to the corner store downstairs, but I forgot about Michael Oher. I can't believe I forgot about Michael Oher. That should have started the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you got more details than I do, because somebody was tipping me to it this morning.
Yeah. So, everybody knows the year he got drafted, 2009, was the same year that the movie The Blind Side came out, which was based on the life of Michael Oher, how he came up. White family, brought him in, had the little, white boy son, showing him how to, play football and all this stuff. I saw the movie.
I never watched it. Let me be honest.
You've never seen it before? Not once?
I've never watched it once, and if I'm being even more honest, I've never been interested in watching it.
Okay. I mean,
one day I will watch it. One day I will watch it.
Yeah.
I promise one day I'll watch it, but I've never seen the movie.
Hey.
I was actually ridiculed yesterday for having never watched the movie.
Well, look, you never watched The Wire, so I can't.
That's also a fact.
I can't blame you, bruh. But I will say 3-6 is in the movie, if that interests you a bit.
3-6?
3-6 Mafia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
3-6 Mafia is in the movie.
I know where you were going with that.
I think it's is it Juicy J?
No,
not
are they
Juicy
doing?
J.
Okay. Let me stop. Are they doing anything musical?
No.
I don't give a fuck. Then I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck.
He acting, bro. He just acting.
I
man.
know. He also acted in one of them actually also acted in Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. Won an Oscar for it too, right? Then they won an award for it.
Well, they won that for the music, but
sure, they won one. They got one. But
but Michael Oher,
The Blind Side. So, come to find out, and this happened back in February of this year, was that he found out that he was not getting paid any kind of royalty money, any monies from the movie, and that the family who brought him in made all the money off of him and off of and it's almost kind of like the image and likeness thing that's kind of going on with the with the NCAA right now. This is it.
No. Well, let me stop you there, because it's beyond that. If you write a story about somebody,
right,
even if you're included, there is an image like that. I don't know who the actor was that played him, but that's Michael Oher. You're writing, playing Michael Oher.
It's an autobiography, basically.
You gotta. It's a biography, but you gotta clear that. Mm-hmm. You gotta clear that. That's beyond college sports. That's just in entertainment. Period.
Right.
You gotta clear that. You can't just write shit about people and claim it's about their life and then not talk to them about it.
Right. And which is surprising to me that it's kind of, all these years, what is it, 14 years now.
That was my question. That was my question.
Yeah, 14 years, and now we're at this point, and it's like, how the hell did we get here? First of all, let me just get this out the way. The Tuohys, y'all some assholes for cheapskating this man out of his money that he deserved for a movie that was about him. And everybody knew that it was about him.
They said that nigga got his money. They said that nigga getting his money when he played football.
Man, I don't want to.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
I don't want. You quoted a tweet that I saw just the other day. That's why I reacted that way. But but man, like the Tuohys, man, y'all some real assholes.
That's their names, the Tuohys. I mean, look,
that's their last name. Yeah.
Assholes. I mean, that's one way to say it. But look, haven't white people been pillaging black people for? God damn! Like, what else do you want? This is almost like nature at this point.
It's sickening, bro.
The dude said he wasn't even really adopted.
Yeah, that's the other part of the story too. And I understand, and I don't know why you can't do it. I guess it's a rule that you couldn't adopt once they're like a certain age, I guess.
Oh, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I get that. That was something that was mentioned. I just don't remember what the exact age was, but they couldn't legally adopt him at the time that he came into their household. But
so why did they adopt him or whatever they did?
They didn't adopt him. That's the problem. They didn't adopt him.
So what happened? Why did you bring this big black nigga into your white home?
Because they wanted questions. Because they wanted to make millions of dollars off this big black Negro. That's
no. But when did they do it? Hold on. So now I got more questions because you just answered. So damn, I wanted to make it to the corner store. Why did So when did they bring him into their home?
I don't remember the exact year or how old he was.
He was playing high school. It was before because he played high. He was living with them when he played high school.
When he played high school, obviously that. I just, and that's why I said I don't think they could have legally adopted him because of the age he was.
Well, I'm also getting that. Okay, and I'm only going to go across it vaguely because I don't know all the details.
Yeah,
I know that. Well, if they didn't adopt him, then the government wasn't paying for him for his care. Then, right?
You would think. You would think. Yeah.
You would think that there was no financial gain for this white family while he was going through high school. So, without any information, am I to believe that they saw this big black nigga had the white son that could teach him how to play offensive line, teach him how to play offensive line, and then they made an investment in this dude? I don't know how to read.
They saw it as an investment. They saw that this could be,
and then they knew they was going to make a movie about him.
Right. That this was a feel good story. And we can make millions of dollars. We could have Sandra Bullock and Tim McGraw in the movie, and it's gonna blow up and all this stuff.
Well, here's where we part. I don't believe that they had that kind of foresight. So the movie.
Well, I don't think they I think it was a dream. I don't think that they. I don't know.
They had a dream.
I don't know if they spoke it into existence, but it was maybe something.
Maybe not the movie. I get what you're saying. Maybe not the movie.
Right.
They saw a big black boy and said, "Ooh, we can milk this into millions, or milk this into a lucrative investment."
Right.
That's what you're.
But the two big.
It sounds crazy.
It does.
Okay.
It's crazy. But the two big things here that I think, and if you ever kind of go back
Pause.
into the story. Yeah, that's
pause.
Yo, that's wild, yo. That was wild.
I'm sorry.
I lost my train of thought now. But the two
points
things
that need to be discussed.
If you ever go back and review this story or read this story, the two things you need to look out for that are the main ideas of the story. Number one is that they lied about him being adopted to the family. And number two, that this dude didn't get no money from this movie. And
Well,
so, go ahead.
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, I hate to be that guy. I do. That's kind of his fault because that he didn't get any royalties from it, and the reason why is because when this movie came out, if I'm not mistaken, this guy was an NFL player.
Yep.
Yes,
Same year Michael Hoare was drafted.
So he was an NFL player, so he had the resources. He had, and I'm talking about, like, let's say he don't figure it out his rookie year, but maybe he figures it out in 2012 that, oh man, I'm not getting royalties from this, or what's happening with this? Why, I feel like at some point some questions should have been asked because he should, and I'm just saying should, have a team of people who look over this kind of stuff, accountants, lawyers, those types of things, especially because if he was never adopted, I don't know when he found out he wasn't adopted, but once I found out you lied to me about being adopted, in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, what else did you lie about? How else are you snaking me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, there's this big-ass movie you made with Sandra Bullock and whoever the person that played him was. Sandra Bullock ain't no cheap actress. So that means there was money put into this. And if it's money put into it, there's a high probability that money was made.
Right.
So I need to make sure that my pockets was being lined long before 2023 when the assumption is that his money ain't long like it used to. And that's a logical assumption.
Yeah, right. That's kind of what I would assume. His career was I would say his career was short-lived. Maybe the expectation because of the movie came out the same year he was drafted. Maybe that put the expectation a lot higher for him. But I mean, his career was short-lived, but nonetheless, yeah, he made money. To me, that doesn't negate the fact that the Tuohys are wrong. Like all the way around.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm not absolving them.
Yep.
I'm not absolving them.
We on the same page.
I'm just saying, hey Slim, you knew you was going broke before 2023, man. You might went ahead and put it, look into that.
I am curious though why it took so long too. I am kind of questioning that myself, and rumor has it too. He's got a book coming out, so I don't know if the book is going to address deeper into these things.
It best better. I know it best better.
And the timing of all this,
I know it best better.
I'm interested to see if that is true about the book. That how much of this he's gonna address. But
for sure.
But he submitted papers to the court, I think, to try to rectify that whole situation with the money being lost and all that. So we'll see what happens there, man. Shout out to folks in the chat room, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Big shout out to T from Buffalo, also dropping in, talking some Buffalo Bills and all that good stuff. That was a dope conversation right there. Folks, just make sure y'all check us out on all of our content. Follow us on the YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button. Facebook page, we're there as well. Click the like button. Follow us on the gram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. And then if you listen to us on these streaming platforms, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Spotify, write a review. Let us know what you think about the show. It goes a long way. And man, this was a dope episode, bruh.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to do it again next week. As always, peace, love, happiness. And again, folks, don't forget, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Peace.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro.
Recording
style. We got one. Right back like we left some. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.